There we go. Okay, well, welcome everyone. We know we had a lot of people register. Quite a few said they were on break this week and asked for the replay. So we are recording and you should be getting the replay soon after. So let me just jump into my slides here. Um, some of you know me. I'm Andrea Hoffer. And hold on, I'm so sorry. Present. Yeah, just had an issue here. I'm Andrea Hoffer. I'm the founder and CEO of AHA Talent Experts. And I am really excited to talk to you about the Dream Hire framework today, takeaways that you can use right away. But even more than that, we are developing and just about ready for beta our Dream Hire engine. So we'll be talking a little bit about that near the end of the webinar because we're hoping that you're going to want to participate in the free beta to help us make this just incredible. Can you see my screen, everybody? Okay. So I have been involved in talent acquisition for a very long time. I don't, at this point, I guess it's about 15 years. And one of the things I always wanted to do was to take all of the best practices that I've learned over the years, because I absorb a lot of what the experts are doing in the talent arena, talent management as well. And so through a lot of like trial and error, I created a very effective system, and it's called the Dream Hire Framework. So we're going to walk through that a little bit. Hi, Ergun. Welcome. Ah, there we go. And one of
Hi,
the
how
things
are
I
you?
wanted to, one of the things I wanted to mention was that the Dream Hire framework is not, I mean, yes, it's a lot of it is based on my trial and error, but it started with foundations and best practices from some of the top gurus. I call them gurus, the top experts in the talent acquisition recruitment world. And these are just some of them. And I've refined it over the years as I've heard more speakers and learned new best practices. But the foundation of the process of the framework brings in these, I think it's five uh, top experts practices, and we've just refined it to help it to work for us and what we've seen work over the years. So for 15 years, I've been helping hundreds of business owners and hiring managers build their dream teams. Now, why this talk matters. One, we all hate high turnover. It's costly, it's frustrating, it just really drains and stresses you. Inefficient processes waste time, and we are all about good processes. And bad hires, of course, we know I've experienced this both from, um, well, more from my previous business where I owned a spa and had 35 employees, where if you have a bad hire, can really damage the morale and productivity. So here's the Dream Hire framework, and we're going to briefly walk through it. I'm going to give you some prompts you can use too to help to bring some of these stages alive, and then we're going to introduce the Dream Hire engine, which will make it even more powerful. As you can see, there are five stages. It all spells out dream, define, reach, engage, assess, and motivate. So we're talking today about taking that framework and putting it together with AI power. Now, define is the most important stage. And this is where I see most hiring managers and business owners just skipping, right? They don't take the time to clearly define and articulate two things, their culture and their role. They're completely separate. Now, when you define your culture, it's not going to change much as time goes by. It might, sometimes you might do a complete transition at some point. But once you clearly define and articulate your culture, you've really gotten um, a solid foundation. Now your roles are going to change. You know, you're going to have one open role this week, and next month you might have a different open role. So defining each role individually is very important. Now, one thing you see on your screen right now is how AI can actually help you to start to define your culture. And this here, we're talking about your core values. Your core values is it's like your operating system. It doesn't matter what role somebody is in your company, everybody abides by these core values. If your core values are alive, they know how to make decisions and behave based on what is important in the culture. And that's these guidelines, these core values. And so you can see on your screen and feel free to take a screenshot. Here is a really good prompt where you can ask it to interview you. And essentially, that's what we do with our clients. We do a deep dive discovery session. It's usually about 60 to 90 minutes just on their culture to truly learn their core values. And a lot of times they'll say, "Oh, here are my core values," and they'll name about five or six of them, and we'll be like, "Great, what does that mean? How does that show up on a day-to-day basis?" I want to hear stories. So the way we've designed this prompt and the way it will show up even more in our Dream Hire engine is it's interviewing you and constantly asking for specific stories because we feel that's what's important to really grasp what your culture is. Um, the next thing is defining the behaviors. So here, okay, now maybe we have your core values statements. They're pretty well defined. You can feed it to the AI again and then say, okay, here are my core values. Give me very specific bad behaviors that an employee could do that would contradict the value of, and then choose one of your values. And then the next thing is give me five specific great behaviors that an employee could do that would show it they're living my value, exemplifying my value. And then you really want to go even further and say, these bad and great behaviors should be highly observable. Because the only way you're going to really know if somebody is living your culture is for you to know what behaviors you can observe to know if they are. And what we found with AI, we used to spend a lot more time helping our clients to define these. And now AI is this amazing assistant that helps us to do it faster and sometimes even better. So if you're using these specific words with it, it can really help you to get you what you need. I want to make sure that you also see it says, give me more specific behaviors that demonstrate. So if you're not getting with AI, it's just like with a person. If you feel like you need more information, you need to dig deeper, just ask it. Just say, I need it. I need the behaviors to be more specific, or I'm not sure these are observable. Let's go a little bit deeper. So that is, some of the aspects of what you'll see when you see our Dream Hire engine in our culture clarifier. It's our culture clarifier digs very deep into both what it can find on the internet, doing research on you and your business, including your Glassdoor reviews if you have any, which we highly recommend making sure you do, and what you answer to it. So we also want to make sure there's a match there, that what you're putting out in the world is true to what you feel your culture is. And then next we have our role clarifier, and it's going to ask things about, okay, and this is something you can do on your own in an AI. Give it your job description, but then ask, what are the top three outcomes a person needs to accomplish within the first 90 days to be successful in this role? Your job posting should have this information. Your performance reviews should have this information. How are you going to know if they're doing a good job, or how are they going to know how they can do a good job if they don't know this up front? So this is one of the things that AI can really help you to define. And that was all under the D for define. And we're moving quickly because there's so much in there. But reach is the next one. And this is how do you attract the right people for your role? And really even how do you not attract the people you don't want? You want your ads to speak directly to your ideal candidates. And I'm just going to share a brief story here. Just the other day, we were working with a client and she was helping us test our Dream Hire engine. And she had been trying to hire a marketing assistant, but it was a very specific marketing type role. They had to have specific skills, they had to show up in a certain way. And she was just attracting all the wrong candidates. And for over a month, she got hundreds of applications, but could not find anybody that was a good fit. So we did our culture clarifier with her, and then we did our role clarifier and put it all through. And after that, we generated a new job posting for her. And she's like, wow, it was very different from what she originally had. And she posted it. And then yesterday, she shared with me, she was like, thank you so much. We not only attracted the bright candidates, we hired somebody within a week, and she's already started and is doing amazingly well. And so she's going to write a testimonial for us. I forgot to get it from her before today, but I just wanted to share that story because, that's why we do this. To help everybody build their dream team, to really attract the right people and people who will be successful, because we don't want people who aren't the right fit because it's not good for them or for you. So with Reach, let's bring you to our job posting prompt. Now, our job posting prompt is fairly extensive, and it has a very specific formula to it. And I know you just taking a screenshot, you're not going to be able to get this information, but what I have for you, and and this has been up for a while, and we will be taking it down once the Dream Hire engine is fully launched. But this is our job posting wizard. So if you go to jobpostingwizard.com, and I suggest, if you do want to try it, you do it within the next week, because by the end of the month, we're taking this one down, and then we're building an even stronger one in the Dream Hire engine, and that one will be part of the beta. And then eventually, when we launch fully, of course, it will be part of our subscription. So, but if you go now, it's sort of a mini version of what we're talking about. And it will ask you questions about your core values and about your role and generate a job posting for you. And it should get you about 85 to 90% there to a much better, effective job posting. Some other things you can do under Reach. If we talk about creating social posts. Social media is a great way to recruit for your roles. Job boards, yes, there's still some viability to it, but we really get our best candidates by doing recruitment marketing and reaching out directly through different social media like LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram. And so some of the things you can do is say, tell it, create 5 unique social media posts to go on Facebook that promotes my job above, and make sure the job is already optimized. And what we like to do is say, be sure to focus on the core values and mission to attract candidates. And then, of course, leave room in the link for the link to apply. So that's a great way to attract people. And it's speaking directly to people who would be a good fit for your culture. Another way, like I said, is we like doing a lot of outreach to passive candidates. So one way to do that is to reach out to them with some good messaging. And a lot of times you'll see you might get a message from a recruiter saying, "Oh, I saw your profile and I'm impressed with your experience." Well, most people are going to delete those at this point, especially if they're not actively looking for roles. So we want your outreach to be much more about what the company has to offer. As you can see here, some of the things that this was pulling out was, the innovative environment or the career growth or why this role is impactful. So we usually use it as a teaser and we'll use AI to craft them, and you can take a screenshot of this to help you with that prompting. But we find if we do a quick little teaser saying, you're going to be part of something really incredible here and be specific about it. Would you like to learn more? We get much better response than if we just say, hey, we think you might be a good fit. And then when they say, yes, I'd love to learn more, that's when we share the optimized job posting with them. And that was part of Engage that we just went over. We're not going to get too much into Engage, but the most important part to know about Engage is keeping up with candidate communication. And AI can be great for that as well. It can help you write templates on where the candidates are in each stage. If there's going to be some sort of delay more than a day or two, make sure you're reaching out to your candidates and letting them know that you're still interested in them, or if you're a recruiter, your clients or hiring managers are still interested, but they had to go on vacation for a week. But we promise we'll get back to you, in a week. If you have any questions, if anything changes, please reach out to me. And and maybe in between in that week, you're sending them little tidbits about the company, things to get them excited and keep them engaged. Now, the part that we always get a lot of inquiries about is, can you help us with interviewing? Can you help us with assessments? So we are going to talk a little bit about interviewing. Um, and that, of course, is under assess. I would
Mhm.
highly recommend that you take a screenshot of this, and it will help you to create questions. I am a big believer, and this is taken from a couple of different experts that I shared with you earlier in this webinar, but asking for specific examples, stories. If you're asking just, are you great at customer service? Then all you're going to get is a closed answer. Yes, right? But if you ask, could you share a specific example when you had to deal with a difficult customer? You're going to get more from them. And really great candidates for customer service are going to pep up and they're going to get excited about sharing a story and they'll share when they had a great win with a customer who was really challenging them. And people who maybe don't like, are like, yeah, of course, I had lots of those. You're going to start to hear, okay, they're probably not the best fit for my role. So you want to put in there what are typical scenarios that happen at your company and give it to them as a challenge. Because otherwise you're giving away the answer. So once you want it to be some sort of they had a difficult customer or they had a project that were told they needed to get it done in a very quick time period. And just for ask them to tell you the story and keep asking for details around it. But don't ask, well, how did you accomplish it? Or how did you solve their problem? They'll tell you if they did accomplish or solve their problem. Okay, I'm gonna, and you can use AI to even create scorecards for you. So if you want, you can take a screenshot of this. Here's one of our prompts for creating an interview scorecard. But again, all of these prompts work best if you first defined your culture clearly and defined your role. And we'll be sending out this recording to everyone. So if you don't get the screenshot, you'll be able to get it then. So we just very quickly walk through the Dream Hire framework. We didn't go into Motivate at all, but Motivate is just as important as all the others. And that's all about how are you onboarding them? And I'm not talking about paperwork. I'm talking about even the week before they start, what information are you sharing with them? If it's going to be in office, do you give them a schedule? Are you going to take them to lunch the first day? Do you tell them restaurants in the area? When they come, do you show them where the restroom is? Do you invite other team members to come to meet with them? So our motivation aspects in our Dream Hire framework are all about engaging and setting up the candidate or the new hire for success. So if you take our Dream Hire framework and you add AI to it, which is what we've been working on for a couple of years now, and we're very excited that very soon we're going to be launching our Dream Hire engine. And essentially, this is going to include some short training modules to explain each of the stages, but then underneath it, you will also have access to just click on the AI copilots that go with each stage. So, for example, under the define stage, there's going to be two copilots. There's going to be the culture clarifier, which is going to walk you through clearly defining your organizational culture. And then there's the role clarifier. And that one you'll use every time you have a new job opening that you want to fill. And that will walk through um, clearly defining what you need for the role. And both of these co-pilots will produce a final document, a profile report that you will then save and use with the other AI co-pilots. So, for example, if you wanted to write a job posting for that particular role, you would go to the job posting wizard under the reach stage and you would upload your culture clarifier, your role clarifier, and hit start, and you will get a very good job posting. And then you can even ask under the recruitment marketing AI Copilot, well, what is a good way to market this role? And it will start to give you social media prompts, the best places to find these people. We even have a candidate persona AI co-pilot if you want to clearly define that candidate you're looking for. So there'll be all sorts of AI co-pilots. Each one builds on the other. But if you want to skip around, we get it. A lot will probably skip to the assess to have an interview guide made for you. But the more information you give it, meaning if you do the define stage first with the culture clarifier and the role clarifier, the better the outcomes you're going to get. Now, we're going to, in a minute, we are going to bring up what the beta is going to look like. Um, but I just want you to know if you would like to participate in the beta, and I'll come back to this slide after we show you what it will look like as well. We are accepting applications to participate in the beta through the end of the month, and then we expect to launch the first week of November. Now, what does that mean? It's completely free. We expect the beta will go anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. During that time, every week, I will have office hours that you can jump on with me and ask any questions, and I can help you. And it doesn't have to just be related to the Dream Hire engine, it can be just in helping you with your role. But we also will be looking for a lot of feedback from you. Is the AI chatbot doing what you expected? Are you getting success from it? Is there a chatbot we haven't developed yet that you would love for us to add? Anything that you think would better our Dream Hire engine, because we plan to keep building on it as we go. So I'm going to actually stop my share. Wait, because Komal is going to share her screen, right, Komal? Do you have it?
Yeah, I have it on. Can you guys let me know if you're able to see my screen?
Not. Oh, wait, yeah. If you click on Komal's screen, okay, great. Thank you, Komal. So you'll see this is um, and this is how it looks on the beta. It's going to look a little different when we actually launch because we will have training modules, but we wanted the beta to be pretty easy to just click on the different pilots. So if you'll scroll up, come on, we'll just go to the bots. Um, so you'll see under the beta, you'll come to a page very simple like this. And the ones we have that we know will definitely be launching for the beta, we have the culture clarifier, the candidate persona generator, the role clarifier, the job ad optimizer, which is like the job posting wizard, interview guide generator, and we do expect to have the recruitment marketing assistant and probably the sourcing strategy assistant. I don't know if by November we're going to have the other two yet, but we're going to try. So you will just go and say you want to start with the culture clarifier. You hit on open tool, and there it is. It just pops up right there. Now keep in mind once you're done, I would do this in one session. Once you're done, you feel like it's generated the report. We're not going to walk through it right now because it takes at least 30 to 45 minutes. So keep that in mind. This is the long this and the role clarifier, but especially the culture one, are the longest one. The other ones will go very quick because all the information will already be in it. But okay, so, and this is the rule, um, little clarifiers. So what the other ones, when you start it, so for example, yeah, I think you can do the candidate persona. It might ask, it should ask here, yeah, upload your cultural clarifier and your role. Now, if you don't, and you say, oh, Um, and you say, I didn't do it because you're skipping, which we really hope, at least for the beta, you do it the way we outlined it. It will still work for you. You can just say, I was actually playing with it this morning and I said, I didn't do the culture clarifier, but here's the career site because we had built a career site for this client. And I said, just read about the culture on the career site. And they pulled it. And then the first time I did it and then went to the role, the role clarifier, I forgot that we actually had that specific role I was asking about on the career site, and it pulled everything and did all the work for me. So I thought that was kind of funny. But um, so this is, this is pretty straightforward, right? So you just go in, and yes, it works just like ChatGPT, except it is trained on our data, and it is trained the correct way to do things by the experts. So it's not taking in all sorts of, outside information. It's only taking in the information that we trained it on. asking it to follow our process exactly because we want this to do it the way we would do it with our clients that we charge thousands of dollars for. Once we launch this, it will be a much more accessible price, and we'll be able to offer it to so many more people, and they'll be able to do it themselves very easily. Um, okay, so Como, can you stop sharing your screen? Because I wanted to show one other thing that will be included with this and with the beta. Let me see if I can.
Done.
Thank you. I don't know if um, how do I stop my? That's not it. Okay, let me do something else. What I'm bringing up, what I think I'm bringing up, is my actual AI clone. So I created a while ago, and I've had it on my LinkedIn, on my website. I sometimes I take it down, sometimes I put it back up, but I've had it accessible to people for free, and we'll start putting some paywalls on it eventually, but it will be included with the Dream Hire engine. And it's just a clone of almost everything I know. Maybe not almost. But as I develop things and learn things and put things out there, I train the clone on it. So you'll be able to ask it questions as well, saying, I'm not I'm not getting, I need some new ideas for recruiting hourly employees. And it will pull from all the different ideas we've done over the years and research of different things that we learned. So when we send the replay out, we will also send that link out so you can start playing around with that. You can use the voice or the chat. I've had some feedback that when they use the voice, it sounds exactly like me because I trained it on my voice. And some people are uncomfortable with that and prefer the chat. So it's a good thing I haven't added video to it yet because I can't tell you how many people have told me it freaks them out when they hear my voice. Um, Kumal, are you sharing something here?
Yeah, I was able to
Thank you.
get,
You
I
got
could,
it.
yeah, there you go.
Thank you. What would I do without you? So this is what it looks like when you go to the link and see. You can even call it from your phone. My sister did that once, and it was really freaky listening to her talking to me right next to me. But it has different questions that it suggests, just like an AI might, but you can ask it anything that is related to hiring. And there should even be things related to onboarding and engagement. And I'll be training it on more and more as we go. And the cool thing about this as well is if you ask it something and it doesn't know the answer, it's going to notify me. So then if you're logged in, because you can go to here without being logged in, but if you're logged in, I'll know to get back to you with, with the answer, and I'll also know to train the AI on that particular subject. So it will really help me out as well. Sometimes we get some really weird questions that, of course, I'm not going to answer. But I'm sure from all of you, they'll be talent related. So, before we end, I do just want to ask if anybody has any questions. You can unmute yourselves. I hope that you were able to get some value, even if you don't participate in the beta. But if you are interested, we would love for you to help us in developing this further. Any questions? Alicia, I see your, oh, somebody else cleared their, no questions? Are people,
No, nothing.
oh, go ahead.
No, no questions. No questions.
Okay. Are people interested? Does this sound like something you would use? Do you think it will be helpful?
I think it will be. I think it will help. It'll make things a lot easier, I think. Definitely. Definitely.
Great. What are you most excited about?
You know what? Just when you're putting in all the features on the Copilot and it automatically finds what you need because you're sourcing. I'm a recruiter, so you're sourcing so many CVs. This sounds like it's going to make it a lot easier to narrow it down. It's going to save a lot of time. I think. I think it's going to save a lot of time.
Okay, so you're talking about screening. No, we
Yeah.
we did not um we go back and forth on this. We can add a screening bot. I want to be very
Okay.
careful about that because of different AI compliance, especially around hiring laws that are coming out in that have already come out and then are more coming out in 2026 throughout the
Okay.
United States and I'm assuming other countries as well. So let me put some thought into how we would do that. One of the things we do for our clients, which is beyond the Dream Hire engine, is we use AI chatbots to screen candidates, but it's not just screening a resume, it's asking candidates and potential candidates, because we use it a lot for sourcing, um,
Okay.
minimum qualification questions. It works amazingly well actually for roles such as we're doing a couple of roles now that are movers and packers and hourly roles that maybe are not always customer facing. And it works really well with just asking them certain minimum questions like, do you have a valid driver's license?
Okay.
Can you lift up to 50 pounds? Things like that. And I'll tell
Yes.
you a little funny story. So we've been doing this for a while, and yesterday we met with a client. Kumail's about to laugh again because it was um, our client said, we had something weird happen yesterday. And we're like, what? And they said, somebody came in for an interview and asked for Joey. And we don't have a Joey. So we're wondering, do you have a Joey? Because we've never talked to a Joey on your team. And Como, who's in my team, and I just started laughing because we named the AI chatbot Joey,
Oh,
but the funny part is Joey is my dog.
I
So we now say that Joey works very hard because he talks to hundreds of candidates and at
know.
a time.
Shame. Joey must be tired.
Yeah, exactly. So we do, we like those types of services. We do that when it comes to screening. We see the Dream Hire engine as more of a set of tools. It's great for recruiters. It actually will add value when you're working with
Yes.
your clients, right? Because
Yeah.
uh, but not, it's more in the prep work and in the getting the job out there. We haven't designed it for screening just because we want to be careful about, um, you know, we don't want it to block somebody or
Yes.
the algorithm's off or something, right? Like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
want to
No, I
make sure we're
understand.
being fair and open to everyone. And so using chatbots works well because they're just answering questions and we always have
Yes.
a
Okay.
human reviewing that information. They eventually go to a human. The other thing we use, and we have a software that we use with our clients, is a one-way video software, and that works extremely well, especially for customer facing roles, uh,
Okay.
to to do screening. So if you're getting like hundreds of applications, say it's even like a sales role, this works great for any level of sales role, then we have, and there are lots of softwares out there that do this, but we like the one that we use, and it
Yes.
it will ask different questions. It makes it very easy for the candidate to answer on their computer or phone.
Okay.
And for
Okay.
that, we don't even look at candidates who do not do one-way video.
Yes. Okay. All
So
right.
those are just
Thank
a
you.
couple of suggestions.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have any questions or have any interest in participating in the beta?
To participate. I love that.
Hi,
Good
Erica.
idea. Yeah,
Great to see you.
and same here. And I like to system and also AI involvement, and it simplify this process and bring up a little bit more function on it. And I like to use it. That's very big deal for us to find right candidate. Thank you.
Yes, I know. Well, great. I'm excited. So we'll make
Yeah.
sure that you are participate, that you are invited to the beta. I think you would, and I know how you love AI.
I love it.
So I know you love trying all new things. So I knew you would be interested in this. I'm so glad that
Yeah,
you're
you
here.
invest a lot of time on that, and I trust the result, and I'm sure we will get benefit on that.
Great. Great. Thank you. And it's good to see you. Haven't seen you in
Same
a while. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Oh, Tanya, I see that you're here. I don't see your video, but thank you for being here. And I don't, Morgan, we met earlier, and Maria, I don't know. So if anybody wants to share any questions, if not, let me just put the slide to participate. Hopefully I can find it back on. Let me see. Yeah. Here we go. So the deadline to apply is October 31st. Doesn't take long to apply, and you'll find the application form at this link. It's dream-hire.ai. So pretty easy to remember. And thank you all so much for coming, and have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
Bye.